Watauga Arts Council with your host, Cherry Johnson, serving arts in Watauga County for more than 30 years.
Hi, I'm Cherry Johnson with Watauga County Arts Council, and as I hope you know, we have a wonderful home called the Blue Ridge Art Space at the corner of Shadowline and State Farm, and in it we have a lot of really cool activities going. A lot of energy moving around that building all the time. Not only do we have a gift shop and 4 galleries, but we also have 5 classrooms. And in those classrooms, there's always seems to be something going on. When I left to come over here to tape this segment, there were musicians practicing violin down the hall, and there was a guitarist down the hall. Earlier today, there were people doing visual arts. That's the kind of energy we've got around Blue Ridge Art Space, and the folks with me today are going to really pump up that energy level a little bit more.
We're really excited about this summer. And summer is a great period in the year. I mean, you're just getting out of the heavy winter and short spring, and we just get into the summer. And a lot of activities, are for getting, people engaged, not just the little ones. It's a kind of, exciting, atmosphere. I love the summer. I love sunshine.
It's my favorite time of year. Now, this is Tunde Afolayan famous.
Hi, how you all doing?
And you probably remember him from an exhibit he did last January. Well, since that time, he's become a member of our board of directors, which I'm ecstatic about. I think that's going to be wonderful.
Thank you.
And
the newest kid on the block.
Yeah, you are. But you won't be too long. We'll recruit somebody behind you, and then you can teach them.
Okay.
And then this is his daughter, his eldest daughter. This is Fola.
Hello.
And you are an artistic soul all on your own, and not quite like Dad.
Yes, I'm in the performing arts realm. I'm in theater. So, yes, still in the same family, but just a different kind of genre.
Now, is he a performer at heart?
Yeah, I believe so. I
try.
believe,
I fool around.
Yes, I think he is. I think he's got some acting.
First time I met him, he came in. We had just moved into Blue Ridge Art Space, and we hadn't even had our grand opening yet. And he said he wanted to do a performance painting. And I'm like, what does he mean, performance painting?
Yeah, putting the two together.
Yeah.
I got a performing artist in the house, so I got a little bit of energy, from her, field. So that helps.
It does. And before we go away from this too, performance painting, you're going to be performance painting at our upcoming fundraiser, the Artful Palette.
Okay.
You told me that. He doesn't remember. Tunde just does what we tell him to do. Is that right?
Exactly.
Okay. Now I know the
pretty
secret.
much what happens.
I do the best I can, but I need to check with you, to confirm, the date, because I have so much, going on,
That's true.
this summer. So.
So hopefully Tunde's going to be the performance painter.
Yeah, I will be, if I'm not, anywhere else.
Yeah.
I have to be, in Chicago. I'm curating an exhibition in Chicago, contemporary Nigerian art exhibition in Chicago, and also have a series of gallery openings for me personally in the summer. So
you're all over the place.
But I'll be happy to be doing performance, painting. I love, to do it. Anything that can get people sensitized, to, embracing, the arts and culture. I'm all for it.
That's good. Now that sort of ties us back to why we're here to begin with.
Yes.
These two are doing a workshop, and the name of the workshop is the Dramatic Palette.
Yes.
And tell me what that really means.
Dramatic palette is an integration of theater arts and visual arts. So we have the two, dramatic being theater and then the palette being visual arts. So it's a week-long camp, and that we use both forms. So we work on acting, playwriting, so implementing that, and storytelling.
Right.
And then we add the visual arts design, which is scene and set design, and we implement the two so students are able to create their own sets and costumes and learn about visual arts, and then theater, writing, and developing a story.
And all this in 1 week?
All of it in 1 week, yes.
Yes. It is going to be an exciting experience for the young ones that will be, participating. And we really encourage, parents to sign, the kids up for this exciting, summer, workshop. It is specifically designed, for children within the age range 8 to 12.
Right.
And having an opportunity, to collaborate, and to create and connect, with, their peers. exploring, theater and the visual, arts in a very fun and exciting, environment. We're very much excited about, that. Plus, the children will begin to understand that all of the arts, have common elements, unifying, element. We're talking about, lines. It cuts across all disciplines in theater, in writing,
in
dance,
music.
exactly, and visual art. Or you're talking about, texture. You get to, feel, those textural energies in all of these, fields. So it's going to be, a lot of fun and a lot of learning to do, because just having fun without learning, it's incomplete. So this is about a complete experience, for the young ones that will be participating in this.
In the middle, we just mentioned a while ago about summer. And summer is kind of a time when historically children would get out of school and then they don't do much learning during the summer, and children will actually regress, if they don't keep learning during the summertime. So this is an opportunity not too far from the beginning of the school year to get those energies, those learning skills back up and running again, and get them rolling in that direction so that they are getting ready for the school year.
Yes.
So,
Yes. It is more so a project that, allows, the kids to begin to learn in a creative way. I'm always an advocate, for the arts, integrating, the arts with, education and the core, curriculum. Some people who do not understand how the arts become very, very, important, to development in learning as it relates to education. Policymakers often think, the arts, we don't need it. It's just, the fat, cut it off, just strip it down, to the bone. The arts are so powerful. When you are creatively engaged, there are certain parts of your brain that become so refreshing, and you're thinking, you are exploring. When you're learning in the other areas of academics, if you cannot think, if you cannot explore, if you cannot, create, then what are you doing?
Right. Yeah.
See, so the arts are very, very important in the lives, and they are very essential to our own very existence. So we are encouraging, folks, to make sure to open the door, to their children to begin to embrace the art, be exposed and experience, learning through creative processes. It's about the process.
Yes.
It's not about making the children become professional, artists, but to engage them in the creative process. And all of the skills that they learn can be applied to other areas of their everyday life.
Like critical thinking and analytical thinking, all of the problem-solving skills, all of those are found in the artistic disciplines.
Right. And even if you end up being a business manager of some sort, if you can't think creatively and analytically, you're not going to be able to progress your business on to the next level. And so it applies to every discipline and every career path that a child might end up taking. Those skills will serve them very well.
Absolutely, absolutely. When I was, growing up, I had a professor that used to say, "Art is life," and I was thinking, what an audacious statement, to make. Art is life. But it didn't take me long, to become, educated and enlightened that art, is life. It's about everything we do in everyday existence, for survival of humanity. We need food, we need housing, and then we need, clothing, okay? And in order to fulfill the need for all these important, things in life, you have to be creative. You have to be able to explore. I remember in those days, I wasn't here then, the early man, when they walk around, gather their food and go from mountain to rivers and things like that, they make their own clothing. They have to create their own clothing, design what it looks like, and also thought about, oh, wow, we need to make, our form of clothing unique. Then they began introducing use of patterns and colors and textures, into that. And, hunting, for food, for meal, you have to be creative, you have to be artistic, make your own tool, make your weapon. Even though the weapon you are using is a tool to use in order to help you, to be successful when you go, hunting. But there are certain artistic skills that are required to, fashion out, those crude, tools into making it, very, very effective, and decorative. Sometimes not only did they make, bows and arrows and spears, they also inscribe some decorative elements, into that. Or for instance, when they kill the animal, the skin used for clothing, for shoes and stuff like that. And somebody has to think very well in a fashionable way, to be able to make use of all those things and go on with everyday life. So art is life.
That's true. Now I have a question about the structure of the camp. The children come in, they don't even know what they're going to be doing, right? How do you introduce them to this concept?
Yes. Well, the first half is devoted. So the first half of class, we'll split it up. The first half of class is devoted to theater, getting them involved, playing theater games, kind of seeing what their artistic, like where they're willing to go artistically and creatively in terms of theater. So we work on that, and we work on writing. And then the second half is devoted to design techniques. So we do set design and costume design. So it's a day split up in half for theater and then half for visual arts, and then we infuse the two together.
Now, does this mean that you're teaching the first little bit?
Yes, yes, exactly. And then we come together. Yes,
yes. Half. Half of the students will be in theater.
You divide the children. Okay.
The children, and then the other half will be in the visual art and kind of changing and stuff like that. And the student will begin to learn that. The visual arts become a very, very powerful component of, dramatic, arts. You're talking about, makeup. You're talking about, set, design and all this stuff, like that. And, setting, the stage, the design sets, the mood, creating the environment to be able to tell the story.
And speaking of the story, where does the story come from?
The story will come from the students. So we'll all get together and we'll devise a plot, and they'll be able to engage in a creative process, writing the play, picking out the theme of the play,
so you don't know what it's going to be.
So we don't know what it's going to be. Yes.
Exploratory.
Yeah, exploratory. Yes.
Explore. And when the ideas, come, from, the children, all we have to do is to stimulate their creative intellect
and guide them,
and then guide them, provide a very, very safe and exciting environment for them to be able to thrive. You'll be surprised. Well, you are not going to be surprised. A lot of people are going to be surprised how children can develop and come up with ideas. Very brilliant, ideas. And that's what we're hoping and we're shooting for.
One thing I noticed with our summer arts camp that just completed, even though with that the story is already defined and a lot of things are already defined for them, but what blew me away was, and has every year for 21 years, is how much children are capable of doing if you just let them.
Yes. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Isn't that something? Children can learn anything, anything. It depends on how and the method, that you engage in presenting, the idea, to the children. The idea of, the children cannot handle this, they're too young and things like that, we are really underestimating, their own intellectual capability. And that's why, engaging in creative, process makes it very, very effective to introduce concept or new concept, to the younger ones, and for them to be able to explore, engage, and respond, to all of the, external stimuli within their own, environment. And sometimes it might be some certain things within, that come out, through their creative expressions, and that makes it, a kind of a worthwhile, engagement, and I'm providing that opportunity working with those, children. Over the years, working with children of different, background.
Right.
I can say that you know, have been in a position to learn wonderful things, you know, from the younger ones. You think you are coming in to teach them this and this and that. You can teach them all of the technical and mumbo jumbo and stuff like that. But when these children are exploring,
right,
you know, the ideas are pure, you know, and they open up, you know, their mind to receiving new energies. And what they put forth, it could be so amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, really? You can really learn something from the little ones. So I learned not to be, you know, arrogant about, you know, learning
right,
and knowledge. Just open up. So for me, I'm excited too that there's the possibility for me to learn wonderful things this summer with prospective, you know, students. So
now, is there a performance plan for the end where they can show off what they've done?
Yes. Yes, there's going to be, you know, a performance, and because, you know, the exciting about this, you know, project is, you know, the kids learn, you know, to develop, you know, theme, you know, for play, the concept, to write, all right, and then to cast and produce. They'll be having an assignment. You know, you are the creative, you know, manager, you know, stage, you know, director and stuff like that, and giving them responsibilities and stuff like that. At the end, the final day, there will be a brief, you know, performance where they put into practice all of the creative things
so they can
be learning. Yes.
Showcase it for their families or whoever wants to come and see it.
Yeah, perhaps you want to, you know, emphasize the, you know, the theoretical, you know, elements that they will be you know, demonstrating on the final, you know, showcase, you know, moment.
So during the final showcase, they'll all be assigned a role, and they'll be participating in that, and they'll learn the importance of an ensemble, a group of performers who come together,
and learning teamwork,
and working together, and being professional, and learning how to come in a rehearsal process, and how that works, and how it develops, you know, from beginning, middle to end. So they'll be engaged in all of these different things, and the final performance, they'll be able to showcase that to their family and friends, all that they've done, and learning basic essentials like stage directions and acting techniques. So they'll be able to take all that they've learned in that whole week and use it to show to them.
That's why we dub it, you know, an experience that provide opportunity, you know, to collaborate, you know, connect and create.
Right.
So you have the CCC, collaborate, you know, connect and create.
Right.
A very powerful experience. So we're very much excited about what's coming ahead. Yeah.
Well, we want a lot of children to sign up for this. We've got a few already, but we need to have a lot more. And so, but you will only allow 20 because that's all you can handle.
Yes.
Yeah. And so if you want to sign your child up for this exciting week, you have a couple of options. You can always come by the Blue Ridge Art Space and we can sign you up in person. You can call us at 264-1789. You can go to our website, watauga-arts.org, and you can get an application form that you can fill out online or fill it out and mail it in, whatever suits you. And so we want to have your children involved. We are setting a deadline about 3 days before the camp starts to get signed up. So we need you to go ahead and get busy with this and get your child already signed up. It's going to be the week of July the 28th through August the 1st.
Yes.
Is that correct? And it's from 9 to 12 in the morning. And so, again, check our website. You'll get all the details, all the information, and a photograph. I guess that photo was from a previous production that you guys have done with some children.
Yes.
So you'll be able to see a kind of an example that will give you a good idea of where they're going with this. So I think it's going to be very exciting. And another thing I think is exciting about it is that this is a good sampler for us on what I'd like to see us do next year, which is have a bunch of weeks like this.
Oh, that would be great.
You know, on different subjects too, where some of them are music-based and some are just visual-based and some are maybe writing-based. And so, you know, a variety of arts experiences for children to do all summer long. And so
you know, that's why this community is fortunate, you know, having the art space. And, you know, the art space can really use the support of the, you know, our community in Watauga, you know, county, you know, area. That's a jewel in this community, a great, you know, space where everybody can learn. There's always a new and wonderful creative activities taking place.
Right.
So come on. What you want to give them the address, you know, at
it's
the art space?
377 Shadowline Drive. best way to know about that is at the corner of Shadowline and State Farm Drive. So where they intersect, we're on that corner. And if you don't know us any other way, I guarantee you, if I say it's got little blue people on the porch, you know who I'm talking about.
Those little people are a wonderful icon, people that are really, really visual. There's no way you can miss it.
That's right.
You're driving, through whichever of the, streets, you see it. There's no way you can miss it. So that's a very great strategic, location.
It was an accident.
Most wonderful things in life happen by accident. Yeah.
I really believe in that. I believe things happen for a reason. But we had Janet Montgomery and Dan Villar made those for a parade several years ago, and I saved them. And the day of our grand opening, I happened to go into the storage area and saw them and went, "Oh,
wow,
let's use them," and got them out. That's how much of an accident that was.
Wow. And I was thinking, this is great icon for this place. Having just moved into that, space, it just register in my mind. It becomes, something very, very iconic that people register,
Exactly.
with the brain. You see that, oh, that's the art space. That's the art council. You never can miss it.
And when I say it to people, that's the place with the blue people. I've seen that.
Yeah, I've seen that.
They know. So I hope you know, and I hope you're going to become a regular at Blue Ridge Art Space. We even have a parking lot so you can park, and we just have so much fun stuff happening all the time. This is one of them, but there's a lot of other really great stuff going on as well. So check our website, watauga-arts.org, for information about this and so much more.
Watauga Arts Council with your host, Cherry Johnson, serving arts in Watauga County for more than 30 years.